Yeah, I got the game all in my hand. Ooh.
What's going on, Laker fans? Welcome to Lakerland. I am Christian, Mr. All the Above, ENT himself, and you know what time it is. It is time to talk Los Angeles Lakers, and it is also preseason time. Training camp is here. Media day just happened, and man, is there a lot to discuss starting off, and I don't want to hinder on it too long because the offseason conversation had to go on for far too long. But to start off with the fact that the offseason has now came and went, and we still have Russell Westbrook on the team. Let that sentence sit for a second. Going into this season, I definitely did not expect Russell Westbrook to still be here. I definitely expected us to part ways. I think we all did, but really it was hidden, not even hidden. They made it pretty clear that they were waiting on the right deal, and to decide and to judge what is the right deal, we can go on for hours. I mean, Pelinka clearly didn't think Hield and Turner was enough to put us over the edge. It seemed like that offer was out there, or at least not enough over the edge with the 2 picks. We'll talk a little bit about that later. I just want to discuss that. It is what it is at this point. Russell Westbrook is on the team. Again, not desired, at least after seeing what it was last season. What makes me feel at least a little better is we have too many guards. That is a real problem. I got real concerns for the wing position. But at least we have a Russ replacement if Russell Westbrook does not work. I didn't speak about the Dennis Schroeder acquisition at all yet. I haven't covered that on my channel. But we did get Dennis Schroeder, who, for what it's worth, we had him 2 years ago. And he led the roster, led the Lakers to a better record. And he didn't really have LeBron and AD the whole time. So if Dennis Schroeder is the backup plan, it's better than a failure of a Russ season and a repeat of last year. One thing is, though, Schroeder is currently not in training camp. So I do believe Russell Westbrook is a solidified starter going into this season. So we're going to get that again. Now, we're going to have a higher degree of a center. No more DeAndre Jordan, thank the heavens. And that 2-guard position is really up for grabs. Will it be Reeves? Will it be Bev? Will it be possibly Walker? I couldn't tell you right now. We got preseason coming soon, so we're going to have to see how everything looks, and we're going to have to see what Darvin rolls out initially. But so far, what it's looking like is training camp is going okay. It's only been 2 days as I'm recording this now, but it does seem like the energy, the hunger, the passion, the drive is all there, and I can't really speak as far as the chemistry goes because I haven't seen any of it on the court, but the competitive chemistry is all there. Everybody wants to hopefully be a part of something good, and that is what I really want to discuss is expectations. Russ is on the roster. For now, I mean, it isn't concrete, and maybe Dennis ends up replacing him, and if Russ, you know what, if Russ ends up really failing, if it's a repeat of last year, you know what happens? He doesn't play. At least I hope, from what Darvin Ham, from what Rob Pelinka, from all of the signs that they've shown, is that they can bench Russ, and Russ is ready for it if it comes. We've seen his media day where he apparently, if that day comes, I believe, I'm not going to say he's ready, but I believe that it's not in the realm of reality for him anymore. Because who knows? What if we're a good team? We just don't really need what Russell Westbrook can bring to us. But we still have the 2 picks, and now we would have a more idea because we have a constructed roster of what is our missing piece. And then we can use those 2 picks, or 1 pick, or whatever asset might not have been working out, and make something happen, whether that's a future star, which I think the Lakers are still holding out on. I think they really have an expectation that we have 2 picks. We still have another bullet in the clip to land a star player. And that's something that Lakers always want to do. Do you agree with it? Do you disagree? I personally would like to just see us focus on winning this season, because last season was an awful experience, and LeBron James is not getting any younger. Year 20 is here. So now, setting expectations going into this season, I can't say I have very high expectations, but truth be told, I'll be damned if I ever have low expectations. We have LeBron James and Anthony Davis. I just quite frankly have no expectations. because we had LeBron James and Anthony Davis last season, and it ended up being a disaster. That was our first real disaster of a season with AD. The year before that, it was just, we might have blamed it on quick turnover from the bubble or, just freak injuries. But no, this is the season that I can't have any expectations because we still got Russ on the team. We still haven't really broken out of that stigma of having way too many guards. And we have a new coach. So unlike maybe a precedent that could have been set by Frank Vogel, you can throw any precedent we've seen of LeBron James and Anthony Davis out of the window. Darvin Ham might play him entirely different. It looks like he will. Now, it also looks like we got a very heavy focus on defense. And do I love to hear that? Of course, we were a great defensive team with LeBron James and Anthony Davis with Vogel. I don't think the problem ever was LeBron James and Anthony Davis and our roster around us for the most part until last season came. Until we got Russell Westbrook. Until we had a bunch of guards that were way too small. And that we were forced to play up because we didn't have enough wing depth. So it's still similar frustrations that we have felt in the past, and it's kind of like I can use that as precedent because we've had a similarly constructed roster. Even having Russell Westbrook with LeBron James and Anthony Davis, we've seen that similar model in years past. We had Rondo with AD and LeBron James, a point guard who can't shoot, that is limited a bit on offense. We've had Dennis Schroeder, a point guard that isn't the best shooter. And I'm not going to say he's limited in offense because he can get a bucket. So my expectation is I don't really know right now. I really want to see his play. I'm interested to see what Thomas Bryant or Damian Jones got to offer because we haven't had a great center around AD. I mean, I'm not going to say Bryant or Jones will be a great center, but the days of JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard feel like they're eternity ago. We had Marc Gasol. Then I saw Andre Drummond. Blinked and that happened. I want to forget for sure. And then last season was the absolute worst. So a young, good, active center that can jump and catch lobs, I'm interested to see what that looks like again. And we didn't really get that with the combination of Russell Westbrook last year. So I am hopeful. I really am. I believe that Ham may be able to spark a new fire, and it looks like he's already started to. I'm also interested to see how he really does balance all of these guards. None is healthy now. I believe Walker is interested in playing up, and we might be seeing that. Reeves, he kind of was forced to play the three. I would love to see Reeves naturally where he should, the natural position that he is, and I haven't really got a full idea of what that is. I don't know if he's a natural point guard, natural two, maybe even a natural three. Who knows? I haven't been able to get that full take from him, and I'm real interested to see his sophomore season. I mean, we saw Caruso really develop, and if we can see Reeves take even somewhat of a similar track, Reeves had a really good first season, man, and he didn't get that experience that Caruso had in the G League going into, his breakout. He just got into the league playing with the grown men, and he was looking good. It took him a while, or we saw like little adjustments where he wasn't used to maybe some of the grown men play of the NBA, but he damn sure was starting to get used to it, and he put on the weight to do it now. And I'm excited for Austin Reeves. Lonnie Walker looks like he is a true baller, and hey man, if we got passion projects and it's between THC or Lonnie Walker, I'm okay if we traded one for the other. Lonnie Walker is athletic. Lonnie Walker, I already seen him in training camp shooting the ball and, disputing his percentage of what they might have called him. So I'm excited for Lonnie Walker. I'm excited for Austin Reeves. Juan Toscano-Anderson, he said he wants to defend the Kawhi Leonard, the Paul Georges, the Anthony Davis he's defending in training camp right now. I think that's optimistic. He's 6'6", but, maybe we can really build, I'm not going to say a Trevor Ariza, but maybe he could carve out a real role for himself. And he didn't really get to do that with the Golden State Warriors, but he got to see what that was like. And I'm sure maybe he was ready if his number was called. So we might have to call his number this year. And I'm excited to see what that looks like. Troy Brown Jr., I got really no expectations for, but again, another young guy who could really turn into whatever. And he was a high draft pick, I believe 14. So the potential is there. Interested to see how that plays out. Obviously, we got Patrick Beverley. Patrick Beverley, who he's going to hold us to the competitive edge that we need to be held at. He's going to bring the fire every game, and I'm almost banking on that. I think he's going to be here with us. Whether he starts, whether he comes off the bench, I think Patrick Beverley is going to be a great fit to the team. I'm glad it looks like there's no ego clash. Ultimately, it's all kumbaya before the season begins. What happens when you start losing? What happens when you get a back-to-back and it's back-to-back L's? We'll see. But as of right now, I like the energy that Patrick Beverley is bringing to the team. We got Kendrick Nunn. Again, no expectations for him. If he works, he works. That's awesome. We got him for a great deal. If he doesn't, well, he's a not a minimum contract, but he's a contract that I wasn't really even considering going into the season. So if he works, cool. If he doesn't, okay. We got Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder is back on the squad. And I haven't got to see any of him with the Lakers just yet because of visa issues. And why are we still having visa issues? I mean, let's get the man cleared and let's get him to play some basketball. He's been going back and forth. I don't know what's the problem now. I really haven't looked into it. But we had him before. He played pretty well with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Him and Patrick Beverley would be a decent 1 and 2 guard to lock down some defenders. I can't wait. That is a big question though. Patrick Beverley being a 3-and-D guy at 6'1". Man, honestly, so being transparent, me and my man Dens recorded a reaction to the media day, and we only did a few of we were running low on time, so I was only able to do a few of the actual interviews. And man, I can really do a whole reaction to what media day was and just body language. The body language of Russ I wasn't really into, but I'm optimistic because he did turn it around the next day when I was looking at interviews in training camp. And I can talk about the interview with Rob Pelinka and Darvin Ham because I do really see some questionable decisions that were made. And ultimately, Lakers are gambling. They are trying to make sure that whatever at least that's the face that they're trying to play. That's the hand that they're trying to show, is they're really banking on these 2 picks possibly leading them to something better. I guess time will tell, but I can't forgive you if this season goes awry because of it. And as long as they're willing to accept that consequence for the fan base, I feel like all Laker fans are starting to warm up to it. Not necessarily warm up to the idea of Russell Westbrook coming back, because I'm hoping this is a whole new season entirely. No comeback. I don't want to see any remnants of last year. I want to see a new energy, and I want to see a positive atmosphere during Laker games. It was awful last season. The negative energy was spewing off of the TV screen onto me. Lakers have too much of a vice hold on my mental health. I say all this to say, in reality, the only thing that is going to matter, or the main thing that is going to matter, is that we are healthy. Will we be healthy? AD said he wants to play all 82 games, and Anthony, I want you to play all 82 games. I think we all do. Now, can you is another question. Will there be any freak injuries? I pray to God not. But history shows that we might hit some speed bumps along the way. And are we built to handle those speed bumps? We're going to need a few oil changes during the season. Possibly. I don't know. We have young legs. Maybe we are really built to do it. We have, at this point, after the trades and after the pickup of Dennis and Bev, granted 2 point guards or small guards, we got a good blend of vets and young athletic legs. The Lonnies, the JTAs, the Troy Browns, the Thomas Bryants, the Damian Jones. We do have that athleticism, and then we also got the IQ and hopefully that championship hunger from the vets. I do feel like championship hasn't been a highlighted enough word this year, and I don't know if that's because that shouldn't be an expectation. And like I said, I don't have championship expectations because I simply have no expectations. But I'll be damned if that's not always an expectation. The reason I have no expectations is because my expectation is always a championship. So it's always, are we going to win it or are we going to not? I don't know what to think right now. I'm still a gambling man enough to say if we got Bron and AD, there's nothing better. And I think I almost cover this every video, but truth be told, I'm still right. You can see your ESPN, whatever. If Bron and AD are healthy, is there a better duo? And when I even think of a number 2, unfortunately, I really do think of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, and that comes down to health as well. And you could throw in honestly, I feel like people really exaggerate when it comes to what this season might be for the Lakers, because if you don't see a potential good season out of the Lakers with Bron and AD healthy, that's a little crazy. That's a 1-2 punch that has been proven to work. And if we could do it with Rondo around us, if Russ is, I'm not going to say controlled because I don't like that word, but if Russ is coached and, actually being utilized or not utilized, whatever it be, we got Bron and AD as that 1-2 punch and decent other pieces around us. Okay, cool, Dennis. I like our center. We won with Dwight Howard. We can't win with a Thomas Bryant. Thomas Bryant is good. JaVale McGee was okay going into his Laker years, but then he proved to be, I can't say a championship setter, but a championship role player. I don't know, man. I'm pretty optimistic. I'm honestly talking myself into optimism as we go on. I'm over talking about the offseason because it happened and it's over with and there's nothing we can do about it now. Now, whether we was happy or unhappy with it, looking back in retrospect, every time there was a move, I thought there was something more and the roster never felt complete. Still doesn't, but at least we're seeing pieces on the chessboard move and we're like, okay, maybe we can complete the roster. I'm very disappointed that we went into this year with the same model of let's still get so many guards and let's still not acquire wings. I also do take into consideration what was available, what is the market. I do get all these things. So I fall back on, do we have a decent game plan going into this season? And I think we have a decent one. I don't think we have a great one. I think almost in a certain point of view, we have a fail-safe one, where regardless, as long as LeBron James and Anthony Davis is healthy, we should be anywhere, honestly, anywhere, but in the playoffs. If LeBron James and Anthony Davis are healthy, there is no reason we shouldn't be in the playoffs. So anybody saying otherwise is crazy. And you're at that point, you're just banking on them not being healthy, and I get that. I mean, that's a pretty safe bet, unfortunately. But AD wants to do all 82. We want to play defense. LeBron James is still looking great. And we look like we got some hunger back in that building. We look like we got more fire under our legs. We might be here this year. And I'm excited for whatever this year brings, as long as we can bring energy with it. So if we can bring fire and we can bring energy, sign me up regardless. I'll be on the hills, the peaks and valleys. I'm okay with that as long as there is effort, goddammit. Because last year there was no effort. Not a single play. So hopefully the fire is there, and I'm always going to be an optimistic Laker fan, and I'm always going to be hopeful for a championship. I thought we had a shot at the championship when Lonzo Ball was on the roster. If you don't think I got it when AD and LeBron is, you don't know who a Laker fan is. We got championship aspirations every year, and damn it, I hope we get there. And I'm never rooting against that. I'm not rooting for Russell Westbrook to fail. I'm not rooting for Darvin Ham to not get it right. I'm not rooting for AD to get injured. I'm not rooting for Pat Bev to be a bust. I'm always rooting for a championship. That's what I'm rooting for, and I'm rooting for it this season. If we get there, well, the road begins, or it has begun, and it will only continue. The next thing that we'll probably discuss is some preseason games, and I might have a guest with me, might not, but I'll be here nevertheless to discuss it, guys. So thank you for always watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think we have a chance this season? What are your aspirations? Is it a first seed? Is it play in or out the play? Come on, don't even put that into existence, guys. Come on, let's be real here. But regardless, I'll be here to discuss it, and hopefully we're talking about some good stuff. So thank you for watching as always, and if I don't see you, have a good day, good evening, and good night.
Yeah, Yeah, I got the game all in my hand, ooh. And yeah, pop out with the drip and make a fan drool. You could risk it if you want, this ain't no fan duel. Yeah, I'm in a Benz cool. Yeah, stepping for the breeze.